Yeah, my review is, this is the shoe I've been looking for years, and I'm so glad I found it, and I will probably go out and buy a few more pair when I can afford it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Hi, welcome back. It's Adrian the Mountain Man. Thanks for coming to check out my review of the Saucony Xodus Ultra. Initially, this is going to be my first impressions video, but as you can tell, I've worn these shoes quite a bit in the first 2 weeks of owning them. My first 2 runs were on the treadmill. That might seem strange for me to use some trail shoes on the treadmill, but for those of you who follow me know that I have a really hard time running outside in the summer here in North Carolina. I'm from New Hampshire, so the heat really gets to me. But mainly the reason I did that was because I wanted to wear them a couple of times before I took them out on a 30-mile long run, which I did last Saturday at Umstead State Park. So I wanted to check them out and make sure they were going to be okay before I took them out for a long 30-mile run. That run was at Umstead State Park, and that is pretty much bridle trail where I ran, so dirt road, so nothing really technical. So I did a video during that run, and that was originally going to be the whole video, first impressions video, but this past Saturday, I ran a 50-mile ultra in very rocky, technical terrain, very hilly, and I wore these shoes for the whole race. And spoiler for my review, these shoes are amazing. I love these shoes. So what we're gonna do is we'll watch my first kind of trail run impression, which was on the bridle trail out at Umstead State Park. And then I'll come back and I'll add some thoughts from the ultra that I ran.
Welcome back, it's Adrian the Mountain Man. So I'm out here doing my 30-mile long run at Umstead. Only about 8 miles in, about 10:30 pace. And I want to do like my first impressions of the Saucony Xodus Ultra. I got them Thursday, I think Wednesday or Thursday. Regardless, I did a 15-mile long run on the treadmill on Thursday wearing them, did 6 miles yesterday wearing them on the treadmill, and then I'm wearing them today. So far they're great. I did a couple of little adjustments, maybe just one really. I took the insole, the footbed out that comes with it, and I just put in the Innovate Boomerang footbed, since I just bought that a couple weeks ago and figured I might as well try them out. But yeah, so far these shoes are great. The foot box is not as wide as an Ultra, or I have the wide version of the Speedgoat 4s. So on my left foot, I can feel the shoe kind of putting a little bit of pressure on my pinky toe, but it's not painful. I thought maybe it would start causing a blister or something, but you know, an hour and a half in, it's fine. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, they're great. This is really gravelly, but essentially it's a dirt road. So it's not the best test for trail shoes because people run out here with regular road shoes all the time, and they're fine. So, but these are doing well. My feet are getting really wet from sweat, but you know, it's 95% humidity. It's probably 80 degrees. So that's not really the shoe's fault. But other than that, they're doing great. And I'll check in later and do some stuff like in the woods, and then also back at the house, kind of go over some things, my thoughts. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. All right, whoa, look at that. Turkey vulture. Hey guys. That was crazy. I was gonna start talking about these shoes. All right, I'm about 17 and a quarter miles into my long run today, 30-mile long run, and the Saucony Xodus Ultras are doing great. It's a really interesting sensation. The like a footbed, like where my foot is in contact with the shoe, it's not squishy, but it's soft, it's comfortable. My heels are a little sore, but I've been doing a lot of running in the last few days, so I'm gonna put that to me and not to the shoes. But so on the other side, where the shoe touches the ground, it's really interesting because it just feels really planted. You don't feel like you're squirming around on the ground, but it doesn't feel harsh. Like you're landing, it's almost like a not quite like a suction cup kind of thing, but it's kind of like you kind of ease into the ground, and then you're there, and then you move on to the next step. It's been great in the gravel here. I haven't felt any rocks at all. It's been felt really stable, like I mentioned, but not only stable from like ground contact, and I know my foot's planted and I have good proprioception, but also it's stable from, like, it's not wobbly or anything like that. Especially in ultra training, slower stuff like this, I'm a heel striker, so you just kind of roll through it. It feels great. A little background onto why I picked these up. I ran the Umstead 100 in April, and I've been training in ultras. I love ultras and Hokas. I do Hokas, but not as much as ultras. But I've been having some Achilles issues. Last training cycle, about a month before the race, started feeling a little something, and then during the race, hey, thank you. During the race, about a mile in, my Achilles blew up. So I was looking for a higher drop shoe, and these are 6mm drop. And that's about all the technical information I'll go into. There's plenty of other reviews of what the materials are, and what the lug depths are, and that kind of thing. But so I like to give more practical information of, like, how does it feel and what are the things to watch out for. So on that note, things to watch out for, nothing major, but when I did stop at the truck after the first 14 miles before I came out here on the second loop, I noticed, like, standing in the parking lot waiting in line for the bathroom, on my left foot, felt a little pressure from the laces on the top of my foot. It's not a lace bite, it hasn't bothered me, but I did start noticing that. And then also, especially on my right side, my ankle is kind of touching, maybe rubbing on the ankle collar. But I have that problem with most of my shoes, so that's probably just a me thing. And I found that if I just take a little piece of KT tape and tape it on that spot, it never turns into anything. So, but other than that, they've been great. So I will check in at the end of the run and let you know how the rest of it went. About 12 and a half more miles. All right, see you guys then. All right, so I'm gonna ask if you've been enjoying the review of the Saucony Xodus Ultra so far. If you could give my video a like. Any comments, any questions you guys have about the shoes, I'd be happy to answer. I really like that kind of interaction. And if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. I was trying to, my birthday's next month, and I was trying to get to 100 subscribers before my birthday, and I just hit 100 over the last week. I think I have like 104 now. So thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos, and the more the merrier. So yeah, I've got 11 more miles on this run, and then I will update you. Maybe I'll do something mid-run if any issues come up, but otherwise I'll update you on the shoes back at the truck. All right, see you soon. All right, so I ended up with 28 miles today. So that means I got the shoes Thursday, and so between 15 Thursday, 6 yesterday, and 28 today, run 49 miles in the first 3 days. That's not quite as impressive as Lloyd Purvis, who has the YouTube channel Run for Adventure. He put them on at the start of an ultra, thinking he'd wear them for maybe 20 miles or something, and he ended up running 80 miles in them right off the bat. So I can vouch for that. You can put these shoes on and just go. They feel really planted. I think that's the word I need. But not harsh on your feet. So it's like I was saying before, like they're comfortable, but they're not squishy. You don't have any ambiguity there, and you have good proprioception. So just to go over like the issues that I had, that weren't really issues, but things that I dealt with on the run. At the midway point, I had I felt like it was going to be a hot spot on top of my foot where the laces go, but that didn't turn into anything. Same with the pinky toe. There was a little pressure towards the beginning, but I think the shoes kind of broke in and it didn't bother me at all. And I think along the same vein, I didn't mention this before, is mile 26. My right heel started kind of moving, and I felt like it might become a blister. But the shoes were really wet. My feet are soaked, and you know, they're brand new. So I think they just were breaking in. They got a little loose. I tightened them just a tiny bit, and that went away. One other thing that I'll try to put there's some space over here to put this on the screen. The other thing is they have a little hook on the front for a gaiter, but there's no Velcro on the back. You know, like a Hoka or an Ultra has the Hokas have the trap, so you have to put some Velcro on the back to get those gaiters, the Velcro to stick. The back of the shoe, it has like a pull tab, which is kind of like a weaved material. It has some reflectivity in it, and then it's also on either side of that is the material is kind of felty. So I found that towards the end of the run, the Velcro adhesive wasn't sticking to the shoe. So if you want to do that, you probably need to like get a little dab of super glue in there and just to reinforce it. Otherwise, when it gets wet and soggy, it's just gonna come off. Bottom line, I really love these shoes so far, and I would recommend them. And especially if you're in a pinch and like my shoes just blew out and I need a new pair that I can trust like right away. I think these are the go-to shoe for that. So that's the Saucony Xodus Ultra.
Those are my thoughts on the initial run out at Umstead State Park on the gravel roads, and so I wanted to come back and give you some additional thoughts on how this did on the really technical, rocky, steep climbs, steep descents, some river crossings. This shoe is incredible. I've been looking for a shoe. I've been looking for this shoe for years. I used to run in a shoe called the New Balance MT110, which was a lot different than this. It was a very minimal shoe, but it gave me a lot of confidence out on the trail. I felt very, very planted. The issues with that shoe is, as a minimal shoe, it was you got a lot of rocks poking through your feet. With these, it's amazing. It's got the great cushion that I was talking about. It feels soft when you're wearing them, but not squishy. But you just feel planted and you have a lot of confidence. I've been looking for a shoe like this. I used to really bomb downhills, even no matter how technical they were. But wearing some of the shoes I've been wearing recently, I just haven't had that confidence. One of the videos I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned the Ultra Mont Blancs, which I do love that shoe. I did run the Umstead 100 in that for the most part. But the upper is so thin that I felt my feet like sliding around inside the shoe. So I just didn't have a lot of confidence. But with this, I could just do whatever I wanted. It is an amazing shoe. And I can show you, there's some wrinkling in here. But for the most part, all these lugs are in perfect condition. That's after 100 miles, basically 21 miles on the treadmill, 28 miles on the bridle trail dirt road, and 50 miles of pretty technical single track. So that's amazing. And earlier I was mentioning the back here. If you want to have a gaiter, this on either side, kind of see where this line is from here down all the way around to the other side, is like a felt material. And so this in here, I have super glued a strip of Velcro on top of this pull tab. The pull tab does have some reflectivity in it. It kind of negates it if you put a gaiter over the top of it, but I've had to super glue the Velcro for the gaiter because it won't stick to this, even though I did try to super glue it across, and it wouldn't stick. So I had to super glue it right on the pull tab, and that worked. It is kind of peeling up a little bit now after the 50 mile ultra, but it worked fine. And if I needed to go back out there and run some more right now, it would hold for quite a while. So the other thing you might notice is these shoes are really dirty. I ran this one just through the rinse cycle of the dishwasher just to try and rinse it off. This felt material, if you're somebody who likes to have your shoes look clean all the time, it's not going to work, especially with this bright color. I think they do have like more of a black colorway, and they have a nice, I think it's called menthol. It's like a green color. It's really nice. But this felt material, it's just going to hold in dirt. I mean, I'm sure if I scrubbed this, or if I ran it through the washing machine a couple of times, it would clean up a little bit. But yeah, it picked up a lot of dirt. But functionally, it's amazing, and there are no issues there. So yeah, my review is, this is the shoe I've been looking for years, and I'm so glad I found it, and I will probably go out and buy a few more pair when I can afford it. As I've mentioned before earlier in the video, I'm not somebody who does a lot of technical data, because I feel like you can get that information out of other places, as far as what the price is, what it's made out of, what the lug depth is. I did mention the drop, but that was important because I was having Achilles issues with a 0 drop shoe. So that's why I moved up to a 6mm drop, and why I mentioned that. But if you're in the market for a trail shoe that you can just put on and just go forever, this is the one for you. So again, thank you for coming to check out the review. If you enjoyed it, if you got any value out of it, please give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of ultra running and training videos, just following my training and talking about topics that come up as I'm running and what I'm thinking about. My next video, for those of you who are waiting for it, I just did that Iron Mountain Trail run over the weekend. That will be out in a few days. It went really well, just to go ahead and give you another spoiler. So please come back and watch that video. And if you have any questions about the shoes, please leave a comment below. I'd be happy to help answer any questions that you guys might have. So, all right, thanks for coming, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks.